Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
14 new speed detection cameras are now monitoring our state's roads, capturing clear photos of drivers doing the wrong thing. With 18 road fatalities already this year, it's hoped the move will encourage all road users to think twice.
A new measure to help drive down our road toll.
We know that 60% of fatalities on Tasmanian roads are contributed to by speed, distraction, not wearing a seatbelt. And these cameras will help us send a very strong message to people.
Today marked day one of new cameras equipped to capture drivers caught speeding on a mobile phone or not wearing a seatbelt. Initial trials showed for every 1% that speeds came down, there was a 4% reduction in road crashes.
As I know, the cameras are placed in areas that have been deemed safe. There's been research and testing in order to ensure that wherever they are located, it is safe and not causing any issues for road users.
A quarter of serious casualties, injuries and deaths on our roads are because people are distracted, often on their mobile phone. It's the leading cause of distraction.
There's currently a fine of just under $400 and 3 demerit points for offenders. But it seems the message isn't getting through to some. These images show some driver behaviour detected during the new camera's trial period. The move's also in line with Tasmania Police's Click, Store and Go initiative, urging drivers to click their seatbelts and store phones away prior to driving off. Road authorities are simply urging people to think of all others, including the 190 people who were admitted to hospital with serious injuries as a result of road accidents this year already.
So that trauma that is caused to individuals, families, whole communities is unacceptable, and we need to all work together to drive down the road toll.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor is accusing both the Premier and Deputy Premier of having conflicts of interest over the Kangaroo Bay hotel development. Shambroad recently applied to have their controversial hotel plans declared a major project. Labor says the government is being advised by a PR company which has Shambroad as a client, also claiming Planning Minister Michael Ferguson previously endorsed Clarence as mayor, who vowed to return the site to public hands.
There is no way that this project can be assessed fair-mindedly by the current Planning Minister. He has to remove himself from the decision-making process. He is on the record endorsing a position of buying this land back.
There's a legal framework that I must follow and that I am following. I can't preempt it. I may approve it. I may not approve it, and I'm awaiting that advice.
The application is being assessed by the state government. The 26-year-old woman charged over a fatal crash on Good Friday has pleaded not guilty to causing death by dangerous driving. Storm Cecilia Tientes fronted the Hobart Magistrates Court this morning via video link following a collision on the Arthur Highway near Copping which killed an interstate woman. Tientes also pleaded not guilty to a raft of charges including driving an unregistered vehicle without a licence and failing to comply with a blood analysis requirement. She has been remanded in custody and is due to appear in the Supreme Court in October. Tasmania Police is set to launch mobile firearm amnesty collection points. People are encouraged to surrender any illegal and unwanted firearms, parts, ammunition or gel blasters. The collection points will open at Devonport and Burnie on Saturday and Smithton and Wynyard on Sunday before moving to other parts of the state. A new campaign has been launched aiming to give a voice to those who are living with a brain injury. It's part of a National Awareness Week, with Tasmanians encouraged to learn more about the condition.
For Paul Pritchard and Michael Bennett, their lives were changed in an instant. Both acquired brain injuries more than 20 years ago and are still living with the impacts every day.
I still have word finding difficulties and memory problems. Also, I had facial agnosia, which meant that every face looked the same.
I had to learn how to walk and talk again, and to think. and it's just horrendous.
The two helping launch the Tasmanian leg of National Brain Injury Awareness Week. A new campaign titled Hear My Voice also released, highlighting the experiences of patients.
Damage to the brain is permanent and it is something that people live with for the rest of their lives. So our goal is to prevent people from ever having to experience that.
It's estimated 12,000 Tasmanians currently live with an injury, with no two experiences the same.
You could have two people with, similar injuries and both could have completely different outcomes.
You never know what you're going to get when you meet somebody with a brain injury.
The association says Tasmania is leading the way in supporting patients. The National Assistance Card for People with a Disability was trialled in this state, while its peer-to-peer coffee catch-ups bring people together in a friendly yet informative way.
It's just great to be able to go down to say for a cup of coffee with some like-minded people.
There's nobody who comes to these meetings without having a big grin on their face.
Michael is encouraging the community to listen and learn.
Show compassion and don't be scared to ask, are you okay?
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
A charity caring for the families of deceased or injured veterans is preparing for its annual fundraising week. It's hoped Tasmanians will think with their hearts and dig deep for legacy as it celebrates a century of service.
Established in 1923, Legacy is one of Australia's oldest charities. Its meaningful work just as relevant today as it was 100 years ago.
Look at the history of mankind. Forever killing each other, unfortunately, and we are unique in the world stage. Look after the widows and children.
It's nice to know from a military perspective that there is an organisation that will look after our loved ones if we're no longer around.
However, operations have changed dramatically since its founding.
Now we accept women and men who are not veterans and are deemed by the legatees to have those qualities of care and concern and prepared to put their shoulder to the wheel to get things moving.
The service provides financial aid, social connection pathways, educational support and personal care. 40 clubs and 48,000 beneficiaries now dotted around Australia.
That network of widows and widowers and children being able to come together and speak and talk with people who have gone through the same experience as them, it's an extraordinarily important role that they provide.
Evidence the charity is all about helping others. Members of the public now asked to return the favour by purchasing merchandise or making a donation when Legacy's fundraising week kicks off next Monday.
If the citizens of Tasmania can continue showing their generosity, I'm sure Legacy will continue forever.
Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
The keys have been handed over on 9 long-awaited new homes purpose-built for Tasmanians living with disability. The multi-million-dollar development aims to provide residents with greater independence as well as a sense of community.
Opening the door to a brighter future. For Nicholas Milner, a new home means a new lease on life.
Just be independent, get out and do my own things and have friends over to stay. It's really, really special.
He's one of the first tenants at this cutting-edge housing development, purpose-built with accessibility front of mind.
It's such easy to use. I can get in around and move such easier. It's just amazing.
Each unit has all the mod cons for more convenient living. But developers were also keen to keep the space cosy.
And really working hard as we can to create homes and not a facility or an institutional type feel.
The $6 million project has been plagued by delays since it began in 2019. So handing over the keys today was especially sweet.
It's also been great the last few months actually working with the NDIS participants that are moving into the dwellings and seeing how excited they've been getting as we've been getting closer.
The former North Launceston bowling green proving fertile ground for a new community. Jennifer has lived by herself since her mum moved into aged care. She's keen to make new friends on the lane.
I don't know a lot of people yet.
Oh, it'd feel lovely to have someone to talk to every day, go on and visit, maybe a coffee or invite them over to my place for lunch or a meal.
The developer says Tasmania needs to build around 450 more properties to fulfil demand for this kind of accommodation. But it's something Unity SDA is planning to tackle.
Working with 10 other developers to deliver 10 houses each per year and wipe out the shortage in 3 to 4 years.
Unlocking new housing possibilities. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmanians are being consulted about potential changes to sentencing laws, which could expand what constitutes as a hate-motivated crime. An advisory council is reviewing a section of legislation requiring judges to take racial hatred into account as an aggravating circumstance. It's now looking to add factors such as religion, gender, sexual orientation and age to the list. Submissions close on September 25.
Kingborough's Jack Tompkinson has praised his vice-captain's performance in Saturday's thrilling win over North Launceston. Tompkinson himself was in the thick of the action at UTAS Stadium, scoring 2 vital goals in the final term. But he says Ben Donnelly's performance on the weekend was crucial for the ladder leaders.
His last month, 2 months has been incredible. Getting his hands on it more, intercept marking's been ridiculously good. I probably don't get the opportunities I do, or as a whole collective, without Ben doing his thing.
Kingborough will watch from the sidelines this week, with the club having the bye. To the Crips TSL Player of the Year votes for round 19. And the judges also liked Ben Donnelly's efforts, with the defender scoring the 3 votes in the Tigers' win over North Launceston. Angus Norton was named best of field in the Demons' stunning win over Launceston. And Lauderdale's Sam Siggins starred in the Bombers' win over Glenorchy. To the leaderboard, and Sam Siggins is once again the outright leader with 2 rounds to go. Ben Simpson sits 3 votes behind him. Jack Tompkinson is third, while Lachlan Clifford and Alex Lee are still tied together on 14 votes. Building on-court chemistry is on the agenda as the Jack Jumpers prepare for their annual pre-season camp. Players and coaches were back on court this morning as week 2 of the pre-season got underway. Next week's trip to the north of the state also includes practice matches against Melbourne United, the team using the opportunity to not only connect with fans, but each other.
Just get some good vision. Obviously we've got 2 practice games up in the northwest and 3 more before the season, so hopefully we can tighten up our stuff ready for game 1.
We battle against each other every day, so just to play some fresh faces and in front of the fans up north and get around the state, it'll be really fun.
The squad will commence their trip north on Friday.
Good evening. Well, here we are, Monday already. Best of the weather over the east and south today. Hobart 19, just shy of 20 at the airport, which was the state's warmest. Launceston and Burnie 15, Devonport 14 degrees. Temperatures in the southeast up to 6 degrees above average. Bushy Park 19, Friendly Beaches and Grove 18, St Helens, Strawn and the Islands all 16 and Low Head a top of 14 today. A few showers over the north and west as the onshore winds pushed over those regions. Further out, we can see a mixture of high and low cloud over southeastern Australia, some low cloud over the southwest of the country and along the east coast. Tomorrow, a cold front crosses Tasmania with another front well to the southwest. So the winds will be topsy-turvy. The 15 to 25 knot northwesterlies will shift west to southwesterly, and then another late swing around to the northwest by evening. Swells to 4 metres in western waters. Strong wind warning has been issued for waters from Tasman Island to Sandy Cape. Hobart 14 tomorrow after that warm one today, a shower or 2. Adventure Bay 13 and 10 the top for Tarraleah. Launceston a high of 16 degrees with the cold front bringing showers right across the state. Devonport 15, Bridport the same. Burnie tomorrow expecting a top of 14 degrees. Strawn showery and 13, same for Marrawar. St Helens tomorrow a top of 17. Swansea 17 as well, 16 for Whitemark, but all showery. On Wednesday, fine apart from showers over the west and northwest. Fresh and gusty winds on the way for Thursday, along with a shower for the west and north. Friday, showers more widespread, maybe small hail in the south and snow to 700 metres. Cloudy weather in Perth, showers and 15 in Adelaide and Melbourne, partly cloudy and 24 in Sydney, sunny and 26 for Brisbane. And currently mostly cloudy conditions all over Tasmania. And welcome back to you, Kim. A lot's gone on while you've been away. One thing I won't comment on is AFL results.
Oh, don't know how the Swans got away with that one. Thank you, Murph. And that is all your news for now. We'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.